The City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 410 of the Heart of LAFC podcast. For this one, we're going to call it Synergy, as obviously things are just gelling right now. And everybody's building everybody up at LAFC, and it just looks great. So, yes, Synergy is a good mix for this one. Of course, it is good times for LAFC. It is nice to see the boys playing so well. The supporters doing their best, the fans as well. There's a great vibe for the black and gold, that's for sure. So we're going to cover everything, talking about the great win against RSL, talking about the matches ahead, talking, of course, about the playoff picture. We'll also cover LAC2 since Araceli is back. We've got Bam on too. Tony should be joining us in a little bit as well. Now that you see her there, yes, that's right. Araceli is back. How are you doing, Araceli?
I'm doing good. It's great to be back. I know I was kind of absent for a few weeks there, but as you guys know, things are starting to ramp up on the next pro side of things with decision day and playoffs just around the corner at this rate, honestly. And then other than that, dealing with family stuff, like everyone's good, but it's been a long month. I'll just word it as that. And then really just still kind of recovering from this past weekend, because I don't know if you guys heard, but the Premier League was in KC for the whole entire weekend, and it was just a lot of fun. I didn't like getting up at 4 a.m., but it was worth it.
Can't blame you, though. I know we had that here a little while back at the Coliseum. And so, yeah, Premier League mornings, it's fun. It's good. It's a good time out for sure. I'm happy they came out to Kansas City. That is awesome. Yeah, the league is in full swing. Loving how that's turning out so far. Really interesting way things are turning out. But yeah, good times, early times. That's for sure. Can you imagine how early it would feel for all of us? So thank you, Araceli. We're happy that you're back. Missed you here, that's for sure. We can't wait to get some updates from you and some insider info as always. Of course, Bam is here as well on a lovely Australian holiday.
Not
Yes,
quite
sir?
full Australian, just Victorian, the state I live in. So
yes.
Tomorrow being Saturday for me, it's the AFL Grand Final. So what they decided to do is the day before, during their school holidays, we are on school holidays here, is they're going to make it the Friday, the public holiday. So we get the day off from work so we can go watch the parade of the players before the game, which I didn't go in for. I'm like, why would I go into the city for that? No point. But we get to just chill out, have the day off, do some stuff around the house, and I get to be here right on time for you, not have to worry about getting home from work.
Low stress, a good day. That is for sure. I love the holidays you guys have. Local ones, of course, because you also got it for a horse race, and that's just awesome right there. So,
yeah, that's next month, the first Tuesday. No, month after, first Tuesday in November is the Melbourne Cup, the big racehorse here in Australia, and my state gives us a public holiday for it, so it's even better.
Fantastic. Love it. And of course, Formula One out by you guys as well from time to time. So good stuff.
Yeah, no public holiday for that yet. Hopefully soon.
It'll happen. It's just a matter of time. So there it is. We have a well-rested Bam, not road weary at all. Araceli might be a little road weary simply because she's been so busy. And Tony, definitely when he gets on later on, he'll definitely be a bit road weary, but we'll put him through his paces. That is for sure. So like we said, a great weekend for LAFC, an amazing weekend for LAFC as we honored Carlos Vela as the first honoree in the Ring of Honor, as you saw the logo with name put up near our banners. So if you don't know, basically at the stadium underneath the press box, there was a large strip of cement, like an edge right there. Yes, that is now going to be the Ring of Honor. It's going to develop. Wonder who's going to be the next on that. Looking forward to finding out who that will be. But as it should be, Carlos Vela is the first honoree. Well earned, a bit overdue, to be honest. I think we were all waiting for this moment that we have a proper send off for Carlos, as he's done so much for this organization, for all of us as the fans. Special player, that is for sure. Team leader, that is for certain. And been electric for a very long time. So yes, to see his whole family there, to see how much he appreciated the love everybody gave him, it was outstanding. There was a ceremony in the mid. There was the tifo that was basically showing all the trophies that he's won and some of his major moments. Yeah, it was a good day all around. Of course, the fireworks show afterward, after we got a big win, that was cool too. So yes, excellent times at the stadium. Even better when the game kicked off, of course, as well. Bam, your thoughts on I know it wasn't a statue. We were thinking statues. Your thoughts on the Ring of Honor?
It's great. It's going to be interesting to see who they also put in there. Obviously, Vela being the first in there, it is well deserved. Obviously, there's a lot that you guys saw that I didn't get to see because obviously I wasn't there in the stadium. So I do hope that the club puts a lot more of the footage out. So I heard there was a nice little ceremony video and all that kind of stuff. I'd love to see that get put out by the club. Stuff like that where people that couldn't be there can still go back and watch it and all that kind of stuff. So looking at all that kind of stuff, I think it would be great for the club to put up.
Yeah, I mean, there was so much, just little things. Like in this case, they had a giveaway, a T-shirt for every fan. They covered every seat in the stadium. If you were greedy with that, not cool. But most were not. Most were super respectful. And so, yes, everybody got a shirt that came in, especially if you came in early, because it was set at every seat. Down on the field, yes, they presented him with a limited, like his jersey, framed. He was the Falconer, of course, for the day. All of the important ownership was there. All the brass was there speaking. Family was by Vela's side. He also had family in the seats with him, and where it would normally be kind of like the circus, right, where all the celebrities are at, that was basically Vela's zone for this game. He was there. And so that was a perfect thing for him to see as the tifo was going on, and we were getting the jersey to go back and forth across the section later on. He was enthused. You could see on his face. I mean, it was genuine. It was amazing to see. So that was a lot of fun. And then, of course, there's little things around it. I know you saw with the goals being scored, Bwanga had a lot of interaction with him, several opportunities. Did a lot of the goggles, right? Kept giving love back to Vela. And so, yeah, it was right. It went right. It's what we wanted all along. And I think it came out appropriate. That is for sure. I know, Araceli, you've seen this club from day one. You saw the introduction and all that it took to get Vela here. I know you weren't at the stadium, but I know you've seen the highlights and all. Your thoughts on this send-off for Carlos Vela?
Oh, trust me, I definitely wish I was at the stadium because just like how Bam mentioned, just seeing all the highlights and kind of the behind the scenes in a sense, you can just kind of get a sense of what that atmosphere was like. And I could only imagine actually being there. But when it comes to Carlos, I feel like a part of it was a little long overdue, considering he's been with the club for, X amount of years now. Hopefully a statue is to come next. But just watching like the ceremony and the videos, it was really touching and very sweet. And of course, LAFC got the win on top of all of it. So it just made a perfect night overall.
Which is a perfect segue. Let's talk about the game itself. Again, we did great up in Salt Lake. No guarantees, right? Every time you play a team, familiarity breeds contempt, right? Things get a little bit harder when you play the second time. People get used to how there's play, and adjustments occur, which is exactly what happened in this game. RSL did make the proper adjustments to kick things off, and it was a little bit of a shocker for us. All the ceremony, the way it is, the way it looked like we were going to thump these guys. Not so. So game kicks off. Things are looking right. But then Brian Vera had the bomb shots in the 14th minute. Like last week, they got us on a scissor goal, basically. This time it was top of the box, way out, perfect shot to the upper corner. Nobody stopping it. Should have maybe been a more aggressive defending rather than wait and see. Probably should have approached in a better way. But again, if I give Vera that chance, 20 other times, is he going to hit that? I mean, it is one of those kind of shots where it feels like a 1 in a million to hit it that well, especially as a center back in that situation. But credit to him, he did the job, right? He got the job done. He finished when he had a chance to finish. And of course, that set us back a bit. That shocked us a bit. Never fun to get a bloody nose so quick into a game. But 14 minutes in, we were down by 1 and had to find ourselves. Now, we did. Honestly, it didn't. While the goals didn't come quickly, the control of the game was still ours, right? We were still giving it to these guys, doing what we do, controlling the way we do, playing the counters, and we love playing those counters, bringing them into us. It was still happening. The movement was happening. Now, were there chances missed? Yes. Were there opportunities? Definitely. Were there amazing saves? A few. There was also a crossbar. But of course, classic LAFC way, took until the 45th minute for us to finally get across the line. And not only did we do it once, but we did it twice in injury time to take a lead. So first we had Bouanga, 45 plus 1, and then Sonny, 45 plus 3. Bang, bang, here we go. Were they gorgeous? Yeah, definitely. Again, artwork. The way these guys play, the way it's just gorgeous, just gorgeous. So the Sonny goal for me was just, to me, even more entertaining, especially with Martinez being involved in it. It was quite good. Bam, your thoughts on the goals that were scored in the quick, well, not quick, but last second comeback in the first half?
As you said, Vera's goal, like for a defender, you don't expect a bomb like that to go in. You said given 20 times, it'll go over the crossbar. Given 50 times, it'll go over the crossbar. That was a 1 in 50 chance of going into me. For our first goal, the passing between the players was perfect. The little 1-2 between Bouanga and Sonny, the cross from Tillman out to Smolikov, that was just perfect. You couldn't think of anything more than that. Having that come in, going to halftime, like, yep, cool. We got the goal back, 1-1. This is looking good. And then we move on to Sonny's goal a couple minutes later. To me, that was just wrong foot, got the defenders in the right spot to block the keepers, and just goes for it. And you don't give a player of that caliber that chance. You just don't do it.
The curve involved in that goal too. Bent out, came in. The angle of entry on that one, it was perfect. Like, that's exactly what you had to do, and he did it. Like, again, most aren't going to be able to do that. Sonny does. It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous.
100%. And the fact that he was able to get the defender in the way of the keeper's line of sight was just perfect. How many players do you see that can do that, let alone players in the MLS that can do that?
Yeah, the draw in. And then you mentioned Smolikov. And yes, Smolikov was starting instead of Hollingshead for mismatch, which I think we debated on last week. Dude, he showed up. He showed up again, right? Every time I see him, I like him more. And again, that play doesn't start without, well, the first one, right? Without Smolikov. So again, good play from the boys. The Tillman connection as well is turning out to be very strong. He is working really well with Sonny. I think Sonny's brought more out from him. That's for sure. And you saw that article in the Times about the, communication in German and all that. There's something there. There's a connection there. And it is definitely playing itself out. Guess who just popped on, everybody? Tony is in the mix, in the cards. Let's sub him into the match here. Welcome, Tony. So we're just getting into the halftime here. 2 goals. You know the story. Of course, you were in the North End, in the Coppo stand, doing your thing. You saw enough to see it, the Sonny goal and the Bouanga goal. Your thoughts on that beautiful end of the first half?
It was kind of crazy. Just side note, I didn't even realize, again, this is how much I am more focused on what's going on in the North End than what's going on, is I didn't even notice that we were down 1-0 the whole time. It wasn't until like halftime, and I was like, "Wait, they scored a goal? When did this happen?" Which again, I was gonna I was on time, and I was gonna make the joke of like literally deja vu of everything. Oh, they get one banger goal, and we rinse and repeat. But
Yeah.
overall, it was just a good connection of just the momentum up front. Like you can see the trust and the chemistry between Bawanga and Sun with Sunny, and just so I don't know. It's again. I think I we'll talk about numbers more fully, but I think first place is maybe attainable.
Yes, and we will get in the playoff. Thanks to playoff magic and thanks to playoff status, we will talk about that. But yes, because of our results, there is, and we'll get in that a little bit. Got to cover the game first, of course. So we're at halftime. We've got a 2-1 lead. It's buzzing because, again, 2 goals right before break, all momentum on our side. Man, that felt good. Again, beautiful goals. The vibe between the players, you just see it. There's a swagger that these guys have. Nothing feels like it's going to get them down. That's the mindset that you're seeing already. They come back out again. You're like, now what's next, right? In truth, not as easy as we thought it would be, but still very well organized, right, Tony?
Yeah, it like Salt Lake came out still trying to play, still trying to go for the win, and it wasn't like up until this pretty much the 70th minute, it was like, all right, so there might be it's going to be a grinder game, nothing too. We've had multiple chances, but nothing too crazy until the 72nd minute where pretty much Bawanga again, great pass for Morin.
Morin.
I'm gonna get this. Morin. Beautiful pass from him, and now he's out of brace, and it's just going to. I'm like, is this going to repeat?
Yeah.
And we didn't take until the 86th minute from finally back on the fit playing field for the first time. Ibobisi with a pass from him, 1-on-1 with the keeper, and puts it away. And again, yes, makes Bawanga the first player to be back to back to back, 20 goals with everything that he scored today. But also, as people are also saying, this is the first time I think in any MLS season where we've had back to back to back hat tricks.
No, I can't remember it. Feels like you're playing a video game, to be honest. Not normal, not remotely normal. What they're doing. There's a cheat code. That's for sure. And then not only that, are they fluky goals? Are they penalties? No, man. We were talking chips on breakaways and bang bang plays and amazing curved shots on this stuff, and doing it in style, man. I think that's the best way to say it is not only are we winning, but we're winning in style in these games, and it's just lovely to see. Bam, your thoughts on the match, and of course, the individual performances.
Individual performances for me, obviously, Bawanga hat trick. You've got to applaud that. Not many times you can see a player getting 2 hat tricks in 3 games, scoring 7 goals in 3 games.
7-3. Yep.
It's hard to turn around and say this player didn't do well for the whole team. Everyone stood up. Yes, Tillman getting the yellow card, okay, that might bring him down a little bit, but the team together as a whole was working really, really well, which is why I was wanting to do a segue a little bit. With certain players coming out of contract next year, who would you want to re-sign? You got players like Tafari. His contract ends this year, club option 1 year. Does the club trigger it? Or Daz, he's got a club option for next year. Does the club trigger that? Hugo Lloris got 1 year club option. Does the club trigger that? Hollingshead, there's no option. He's out of contract after this year.
Okay. Man. So, I mean, to be honest, Hollingshead, I think they re-sign him. Why would they not re-sign him? Tafari, I don't think so. Maybe. Again, Depends on how far we go this year. I think that's a big play is how is this story going to end this year? If it ends in a cup, mass exodus, right? Because the cap is the cap. But if it doesn't end that way, people are going to stay on because of what they've currently built. The squad build is rather interesting, and you're not going to want to miss out on next year. A full season with this, we're talking supporter shield, right? Legit. We don't want to be a part of that. We're talking all kinds of hardware. Lloris, dude's happy. I don't see him even wanting to leave. I don't. The guy just got his green card. Like,
see for me with Lloris, win the cup, I can see retirement.
Yes. Agreed. I mean, win the cup, and even Bouanga is probably a thought as where am I going next? I think he wants to stay though because the cup's coming here. If his national team qualifies for the World Cup, I mean that kind of locks it anyway. You're not going anywhere. Comfortable here. It's so many little things, right, that really determine the fate of certain players. And Ordaz, I think no matter what happens, Ordaz is going to try to stay. Why would he not? He's got so much out of this, and he's getting more, and he will get his minutes. So why would he not? Tony, your thoughts on the free agency and all that?
It's going to be up to like what our, again, we have to talk about like the same thing as salary cap is, and I think we keep Ordaz one more. If we have the option, why not? We keep him and doesn't. It's a, like again, he's been performing well. With Lloris, I think we still keep him because it's just he's cheap and I think he's still having fun. He's a keeper. Keeper can play till like they're 45. You've seen this, you know what I mean? And so it should be. Sorry, cat. Should be okay. So I'm at this point. It's just too early to see who to keep and who it is. It's like because we don't know who's going to be available and what the other free agency is going to happen.
There's other numbers to worry about. That is for certain, right? And of course, Araceli, your thoughts on who should stay, who should go in the short term. Most of the guys we're going to pursue, right? We'd figure on.
Oh, I'm sure, especially because, I mean, just like how Tony was saying, we don't really know the full list just yet, but just looking at the roster itself, like I would want to keep Ordaz and some of the newer players. I have to admit, I'm still kind of like playing catch up in a sense, so I don't have a real solid answer, especially on the newer signings. But I mean, at the end of the day, the club is going to make their own decision, and especially with Dola leaving at the end of the season, I'm curious of how much that's going to play a role in it.
Right. That is a big change. Definitely. That's a sea change for the team. And we don't know who's coming next. So, yeah, that's an open spot. Good thing is we got a lot of numbers to worry about in the present. I think the biggest one at this point, of course, now that we've got a string of wins together, things are looking pretty strong. What do the playoffs look like? Where are we going to fall in all of this? I know last week you said fourth looked like the best at the moment. Well, guess what? Games kind of fell to us these last couple days, right? It's good. The only numbers that didn't fall away, of course, was Bouanga in the Golden Boot race. Messi got a couple this week already, so got to keep pace and get two again. But that's another story. In terms of the standings, San Diego, they've looked more human. We'll say that. At this point, they've got 57 points, 31 games played. Because of them faltering and because the Whitecaps are not faltering, San Diego's chance of making first place is at 38% now. What? Yeah, it got funky for them. They're a 35% chance of finishing second. So they've got to perform to get across the line, and still not guaranteed because the Whitecaps are right behind them, 56 points and a game in hand. So a point away with a game in hand. Now they're looking at 48% opportunity at first place, 30% chance at second. Yes. Then there's Minnesota, 54 points with 31 games played, same as San Diego. So they're not sitting pretty right now. That looks so rough for them that fourth place is the highest at 44% as things are playing out. We're talking typical numbers. Then comes us, fourth place, right? 29 games played, so less games played than all the others. 50 points. Are we chasing? Yes. But you've got a couple games in hand on most of these guys. One game in hand on the Whitecaps. So you're in the hunt. So what does that mean for first place? Well, as it currently stands, again, normal stats, 10% chance of first place, 19% chance of second, 30% chance of third, 39% chance of fourth. That is the highest of those percentages. But that's just as is, looking point per game, right? Wins. The other picture, and that, of course, is games won, makes it really interesting for LAFC. If LAFC can somehow win out 5 of 5, right? 5 remaining matches, that then puts us at a 66% chance of finishing first if you can win out your schedule, right? So there's numbers there. Do you need help from others? Yeah, of course. But if you win out, you'd end with 65 points. That means others above you need to get results to change that. 31% chance of second, 3% chance of third if you win out. If you lose one of those games, you're pretty much locked into second or third. If you lose a couple of games, so say you only get 3 wins, then you're really locking yourself into fourth place. Yeah, 3 of 5, fourth place is the logical stop. Less than 1% chance of getting into first with only 3 wins. So yes, you got to win out if you want any chance at first. So it's not over yet, Arisley. As you asked, it's not over yet. We're still in the mix here. It's going to take a lot, though, knowing the schedule as it plays. I know there was mentions on our last pod, thanks to those who mentioned it in the chat, that there is an international break as well that's going to interfere with our schedule too. So yeah, it's going to get tough. So yes, looking at those numbers, looking what we have to do, it ain't easy. I know, Bam, I tasked you with figuring out when the international match day actually occurs and which mats are affected. And just so you guys know, of the 5 games, that has St. Louis this weekend, then Atlanta, then Toronto, then Austin, and finally Colorado. And the only home games that we have on that list would be Atlanta and Toronto. So there you go. Bam. I go to you, sir. Those international match days, which matches are actually affected by them?
Looking at it, the ones that are affected by them are Atlanta at home, Toronto at home, and Austin away.
3 out of 5. Not easy.
So just so people are a bit more aware, I'm mainly looking at Gabon because obviously having Bouanga making the World Cup would be huge. Because I look at his son's already and Korea's already qualified for the World Cup. Yes. They got 2 games in Korea against Brazil and Paraguay. Maybe he goes. Hopefully he stays. We'll find out about that. But with Gabon still trying to lock down that guaranteed finals match, they have a game against Gambia on Monday, the 6th of October, the day after we play Atlanta. And that game is in Gambia. And then on Monday, the 13th of October, they play Burundi in Gabon.
2 home games.
1 away, 1 home. They play Gambia away, then Brunei at home. Okay. The thing is, for them, Gambia is 3rd, 9 points behind, and Burundi is 4th, 9 points behind as well. So they're pretty much locked up 2nd place. Now, with the way Africans do it, the top 4 2nd places qualify. Gabon are 3 points clear of Madagascar, Democratic Republic of Congo at the moment, who are sitting 2nd and 3rd best 2nd place teams.
So Bouanga, if he's healthy, is a certainty to go and hopefully get his country qualified for the World Cup. What a huge moment that will be for them. He's got to go. And he's been flying for them. Remember, the form he's in really featured. He got a hat trick the last time he went international duty. Yeah, hat trick. How's that familiar to all of us now?
Not only a hat trick, a first half hat trick inside 40 minutes.
Yes. Yeah. Pretty stuff, too. You guys should see those highlights. So he's going. There's no doubt he's going. Sonny's a different story, right? Because again, they've already qualified. These are tune-up matches. It's going all the way back to South Korea. Could it be a send-off series of sort? Maybe, but we don't know yet because again, we're in the middle of a playoff hunt. Where's his head going to be at? What's he going to do? I don't think he's the kind of guy that's going to say no to the Korean national team. It's just not going to happen. He's the captain. But would there be a chance they might pass on having him go?
The thing, though, with Sonny, their games are on the 9th and 13th of October, which means that technically he'll be out for the Austin away game. I would say he'll be out for the Toronto game because that's on the 8th of October. And so he might hang around for the Atlanta game on the 5th of October.
Possibly. Okay. But Bouanga gone. That's going to get really, really funky. Okay. Tony, your thoughts, man? Are you super concerned now that we've heard that the stars might not be aligned for a few games?
Well, then you have the other question too, or Daz as well.
El Salvador. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or El Salvador is also fighting for a World Cup spot. And again, if everything goes Gabon's way and El Salvador's way, they face each other for the final spot.
Fascinating. Definitely fascinating.
So that just also hurts more our front line because then it's like, okay, yes, thank God we got Iboyese back, but so it's him, Martinez. Where do we go from there?
Tillman.
Yeah. Tillman possibly for the United States. We have Raposo. I think they might get called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at El Salvador matches, just looked up those ones. They play on the 10th and the 14th of October, which again might put him out for just Austin.
Okay. Yeah, we are going to get pulled. But here's the other thing that we have to think about. All of those teams that we're playing are going to lose guys too. So no one is full strength. It's this classic MLS, right? The main part of the playoff hunt where things get seeded, they're pulling people away. Instead of doing what everybody else does, no, they play through. Crazy. So decision day will be a diluted decision day this year. Weird. Just weird, but it is what it is. Araceli, your concerns going in with these final few games. I mean, these are all winnable games, but that changes with the dynamic of the international match day.
I think my concerns are always kind of the same with any international window or the final stretch of the season. It's just hoping that there's no injuries, regardless of play. But I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to our players, they seem to know how to take care of themselves well, especially Bouanga, because I don't know how he does it, but he's always on a plane somewhere, but still manages to pull out bangers for LAFC. So I'm not too concerned, but at the same time, there's always that underlying kind of worry.
Yeah, he's done the red eye return flight and then all of a sudden goes in the second half for us. This has happened before. So you never know. Denny just loves to play. We know this. It's natural. All right. Speaking of that, and speaking of internationals, I know, Araceli, I wanted to have you do this. We have a new player that has joined LAFC, of course. A new goalkeeper, correct?
Yes, we do have a new player for LAFC too. It was announced today. Bear with me on his name. Xiao Chin Yang Liu? I know I butchered that. I'm sorry.
Xiao Yang Liu, I believe. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's a keeper from Bayern Munich 2 from their second division team. He's been with them since 2022, but he's been on loan to several Austrian clubs throughout his time. Really couldn't find too many stats on his playing career, but I mean, just kind of looking at the overall 21-year-old, 6'3", he's made an appearance for China's U21. He spent his youth developing his abilities in Spain. It sounds promising, so hopefully, I'm just glad that Cabral Carter finally has some help on the squad because I believe as of right now, well, before this signing, he was the only keeper on the roster for LAFC too.
Phew. A little pressure there. I also like that he's only 21 years old and he's 6'3".
Mm-hmm.
Size. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Again,
Oh, when I
this
read
is
that,
one
I
of
instantly felt short.
the. Just wish I was 6'3". Yeah, I know. Again, a Bayern Munich 2 player, which is important because we have the Red and Gold initiative that's still in place, and we haven't really seen benefits from that until today, right?
As far as I could tell, we haven't. No.
Yeah.
So
So progress on that front. And of course, that does leave us to LAFC 2. I know we are full of good news. We do have to have a little bit of rain to go with all this sunshine. Araceli, what's going on for LAFC 2 right now?
well, LAFC 2 is in a little bit of a sticky spot right now. Over the weekend they did fall to Real Monarchs 3-1. Their next match will be this Sunday in St. Louis. It's a 2:00 kickoff. The game will be streamed on Apple TV. And I do want to mention that next Sunday is actually decision day for Next Pro. And for that, LAFC 2 will close out the regular season as they host the current reigning champions, North Texas SC. It's a 1:00 kickoff. They will be on Apple TV. And there's actually a venue change for this. Instead of Titan Stadium, the game will be at USC at
Nice.
Rawlinson Stadium. So interesting mix up right there. And as I've said this entire season, if you're able to go, I highly recommend it. Now for the playoff situation itself, LAFC 2 is still in it. Somehow. Because looking at their current record, they have 32 points. They're currently sitting in 11th place. A lot needs to happen for them to have a chance to make the playoffs. They were actually supposed to have been eliminated this past weekend, but they were saved by North Texas losing their match, ironically. So coming to St. Louis, I'll be very honest. I'm kind of doubtful on that because right now, St. Louis is a very dominant team in Next Pro, and it's going to be a tough challenge. And they were the team that knocked out LAFC 2 in the first round of the playoffs last season. So, yeah.
Even worse, they chose us to beat us last year. We were their choice
They
because it
did.
was pick your poison. Yeah, that's rough. That is rough. You're saying there's a chance. It's a slim one. We'll hold out hope for an upset this weekend. We'll take that. We'll take that for sure. All right. So that is where we're at, guys, with LAFC 2. Looking forward to seeing what our new goalkeeper will do for the side. It is towards the end of the year, so it's a little bit interesting how that works out. But again, new talent at the club, much needed talent as well. We were running with one goalkeeper. Yeah, that's nuts. But that's a little bit fixed. So thank you, Araceli, for that. We're at about the half point, I'd say, for the episode. I know we've got a lot covered. There are a ton of comments from the faithful. Araceli, do you want to stick around for the comments, or are you all set for the day?
These look like fun comments. I think I'll stick around
I
for
do
it.
think
And
so
then
as
I'll
well.
hop off.
Good. Yeah, there's some fun ones. Happy times for the faithful, that's for sure. Burke in the lead from the Black Army. He says, "What up, fam? What up to you, Burke? Happy to have you on, man." We got Dave says, "Who's getting the hat trick this weekend? Sonny, Denny, someone else." Obama say hat trick. Here we go. I don't know, man. It's a show, and I'm loving every bit of it. David Day says, "New era. Just thinking of Carlos makes me smile." He had that smile, man. It was a great smile from Carlos. Again, you could tell he was truly happy. We've got some love here in Korean. LAC, go, go, go. Love it, man. Thank you for the comment. Dave says El Rey deserved that honor. And then some, Dave. I mean, like Araceli mentioned, a statue would be nice. I agree. A statue would be really nice. He is who he is, right? He took a chance on us, and you saw how much it's paid dividends. So, yeah, for sure. Oh gosh, David Day says, anyone know how Soccerhead took the jester from Carlos? Oh man, Soccerhead's been. Oh, the tattoo. Dude, I will say, Soccerhead is a busy man. And his wife even more busy because she's like the artist. So, yeah, nothing but love for Soccerhead. I gotta say, they're cool people. That's for sure. Let's see. Burke says moment with Soccerhead was funny for sure. Yeah, Burke also mentions Sonny is our second leading scorer this season now. Exactly. Taking charge. It's good. It's good. And as Small says, they're such an amazing duo. Yes, dynamic duo vibes. That's for sure. And they have so much fun. I think that's what I love about it. They're enjoying their football, not just the results. And that's great. David says he was at the Sun hat-trick game in Utah. Snowball in Utah. Gareth Bale super goal. My favorite is still my first game ever. LAC's second ever 5-1 in Utah. The man was there, guys. Good to hear, Dave, that you were there, David. What a moment. That's cool. So you're a good luck charm. That's what you're saying. You always have to go now. He's locked in. As Dave says, David, you are a legend. Agreed. And of course, Dave, who is in the Netherlands, says, I'm jelly. Yes, we'll get you back here soon enough, Dave. That's for sure. David Dale says, Korea does not understand Dolo out. I've seen so many comments, auto translate trashing Tottenham's former coach and how he used Son, and praising how Son is now used at LAFC. Happy soccer. I like it. Play with a smile. You can't get better than that. Building everyone else around you. You can't get, that's leadership for me. Not chastising, not getting heavy with people, but getting the best out of them. And that's what he does. That's what Sonny does, and it's beautiful to see. Look at Bwanga and him. It's been good. It's been real good. David Dale says Denis will be racking up frequent fire miles. Agreed. And red eyes because he wants to get back so fast. This is interesting. He says, I was surprised seeing some Korean fans comment that Son should not come play for the national team to focus on being an ambassador for Korea in the U.S. It's a cool take, I got to say. Now, if you're at the stadium, and Tony can attest to this, there are so many passionate South Korea and Sonny fans at these games now, and they're football fans. They know what they're doing. They know what they're watching. They understand it. They are passionate. They're even in the North End, new sets of fans, and it's cool to see. And the vibe is right. Sometimes, like we've seen Messi comes to town, the celebrity aspect, it's a different vibe with Sonny. There's a celebrity side of it, but there's the football side of it, and the football supporter and fan side of it, where the understanding is there, and you can tell, and the genuine support is there. And so I'll go to you, Tony, on this. I mean, you're seeing it, right? I mean, the passion is proper, isn't it?
No, the passion is proper, and it's like easier to like they understand also the supporters part of it, of just like what needs to be done and everything. So more power to them and everything. So it's nice. Like I've had conversations of like with some of the people like doing the supporters and with the supporters in the have you seen like throughout as you dived into like the YouTube with like the Korean influencers and everything, and they understand it. And I even mentioned in one of them, like, he is technically like a Messi archetype, you know what I mean? Like the passion, the fandom that comes with like with Sonny is this at levels with Messi. Yes, Messi internationally is known well because of the best player, but Sonny is pretty much at that level, just in a different type of way.
Right. on-field impact is greater at this moment in his MLS career. Quicker to it, that's for sure. Greater impact. Not crowd-wide. I mean, crowd-wide too. You see on the road how many people showing up for LAFC, but it's slightly different. That's for sure. I'm just happy we're on this side of it, right? We're lucky. We're blessed, to be honest. And of course, David Day also says double-edged sword, but MLS over Europe schedule. Yeah, it is what it is. I just, again, wish they'd have more breaks to follow with the international match days. It would have been better for everybody involved. But again, I think I'm in the camp with the Korean fans saying that Sonny should not go to the national team. I agree. I mean, I see where he's at and how he's built with this club, and I have a feeling that if given the option, he would probably stay on because he's building something here. That's for sure. Again, I think we're all being greedy. We hope that he stays and doesn't go, but Bam's shaking his head in agreement, right, Bam? He's hoping he just chooses to stay.
100%. Like, if it's up to him and he says, I want to stay and play in MLS, let him stay. But at the same time, though, knowing of how big of a presence he is, even on the national team for them, I think that he would still go because he needs to keep gelling with the national team leading up to the World Cup.
He wears the armband. And also, how many more games is he going to see in South Korea at the national team level? Right? It's not a forever thing. So it's hard. It's a hard decision to make. So we'll see what happens with that for sure. All right, guys, thank you for the comments. Well done, all of you. Keep them going because we're going to definitely check in with everybody again in a little bit as we preview the next match and close things out for the day, of course. Now, what do we always do? What's the next thing after this? Yes, community news, Tony. There's a big one, right? What's going on with community news?
Community news that we're getting at the moment is, of course, this Saturday, I know it was posted pretty late in the week, but if you guys want to and to support for the 3252, we're having a St. Jude's walk. Walk with the team 3252 to raise funds and reach our goal of 352. 3252. All funds collected will be donated to benefit St. Jude's Children's Hospital. It'll be at Expo Park this Saturday at 8 a.m. I know some capos are going to be there, drums and stuff like that to, still support and cheer on our fellow walkers or runners if you want to, get a quick little exercise and stuff like that. But it's a cool little thing that we're doing early in the morning on game day because, of course, leading up to this, what we're going to preview soon is we are going to St. Louis in Araceli's area. But yes, I said that, and I will continue to keep saying that until the day I die. So we have
need to come to KC. St. Louis is nothing like us.
Anywho, so D9U, Empire Boys, and Luckies will be at Rowdy's at 1002 6th Street, Suite 8, Rancho Cucamonga. TSG will be revealing their collaboration with Saturday's Football and will be at Saturday's Football, which is at 118 South La Brea Avenue, Los Angeles, California. And Black Army will be at Brujeria Company, 4937 Durfree Avenue, Pico Rivera. And yeah, those are what we have for community news at the moment.
There's one more thing to add because it was a late edition and I just saw it and it looks freaking awesome. For those of you heading to LA Comic-Con, yes, LA Comic-Con, guess who's going to have a booth there and exclusive merch? Not even merch, giveaways. That's right. LAFC is going to be at LA Comic-Con this weekend. I'll be there on Sunday with the kids. So if you're out there, say hi. It's going to be cool. It gets bigger every year. But yes, looks like one day there's the first ever LAFC Zine on Saturday. That's a limited edition giveaway. Zine. Dad stuff, and then posters. Unique posters on Sunday. I'm pretty sure those are going to be superhero-esque player posters, and there's 3 different styles, and while supplies last, try to get those. And also player appearances. So those not making the trip out to St. Louis, yeah, they'll probably be Comic-Con so you can get some cool autographs. I can think of some amazing players on our team that just can't make the trip at this time. So those will probably be the ones I'm figuring that will be there. So if you make it out, support the club. Yes, they've invested in Comic-Con. Not the first time they've done this either. I think 2 seasons ago they did something like this too. So good on them. That should be fun. And that is it for our community news. That brings us to the Black and Gold Vinyl Club Minute. And seeing how Bam's been hanging out over there and having a lovely day of rest, I have a feeling he's got something he wants to add in for the Black and Gold Vinyl Club Minute. Any thoughts, sir? Any nominations today?
I do have one. I'm going to go with a singer who was born in St. Louis, Missouri.
Ooh.
I'm going to go with one of his songs that was released in 2008.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Akon's Beautiful because the way LFC is playing at the moment is beautiful.
That's different. I like it. Okay. I know Aristo's not loving this, but
This is news to me. I didn't know he was born there.
Yeah, that's different. Okay, so Akon is our choice for now. Tony, do you have a competitor for the song of the day?
I do, and I do not. I'm like can't remember the songs I was listening to all day, but I know it's from Los Broncos. And anything from them is actually pretty well done. So I'll just say Los Broncos. It'll be just my artist for right now, but yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I know Billy Idol is in town playing a concert, so I mean, Hot in the City might make sense this time of year. So there you go. I'll leave it at that. Nice, Araceli, you got any?
Not that's coming to mind. I mean, if we're gonna go with the St. Louis theme, Nelly, he's from there.
Nelly and Akon. There you go.
Yeah.
Have fun with that list you're creating there, Tony. It just gets that much longer. So there you go. Thank you guys for that Black and Gold Vinyl Club Minute in the books. Of course, that leads us to the match preview. Why you've all coming, why you're all staying on. Yeah, we're heading out to St. Louis. Yeah.
Before we get into that, I'm gonna go ahead and head off. Blame work. I wish I could stay, but hopefully next week.
Thank you, Araceli, once again for coming on. As you do, we love when you're here, but we know you're busy. And again, you do what you got to do. We're all proud of you for what you're doing. So keep it up and go get that rest. That's for sure.
Appreciate it. Talk to y'all next week.
See you next week. All right. So here we go. St. Louis City. We know St. Louis City SC. I just love how they did it with their name. Play them on the 27th, 5:30 p.m. kickoff from St. Louis. Their season hasn't gone as well as it should have. A major coaching change, of course, turned things around a bit for them, but it's maybe too little too late. Definitely too little too late. They have a 7-7-17 record so far, 28 points as opposed to our 50 points at this stage of the year. But they're coming off of 2 big wins for the side. Again, stealing points from teams that are trying to scrape into the playoffs. And it's, again, looking a lot better than they were before. I know they beat Montreal 2-0 on the road. Then they went to San Jose and took out San Jose 3-1 last match. Yeah, that's dangerous. Especially when we know San Jose has been trying to scrape in. Pretty tough. Now, things haven't been so great for them. Again, they only managed 39 goals so far this year. I think a lot of that has to do with the way the coaching was first half of the season. But now things are picking up. Bam, you look at this side. Your thoughts so far on St. Louis now that they've made these changes?
Because of some playoff clinching stuff with the St. Louis San Jose game, I decided to watch that game. And oh my God, what a game that was. It was an amazing game. St. Louis was able to shut down San Jose. They were able to keep the defense up and just make sure that they, when they had a chance, they converted it, plain and simple. How Chicho didn't get sent off or some other San Jose players didn't get sent off in that game, I don't know, because that was just a really, really fierce game. And yeah, if St. Louis play like they did against San Jose, it's going to be a fun game, that's for sure.
Not an easy one, that's for sure. You can't write these guys off. They are playing spoiler from here on out and living up to that. Again, stringing some wins together. So it will not be an easy day for us. Now, who's out there? Who stands out for those guys? And the names are quite Germanic, I will say. But I will rattle these guys off because, again, they have some real good players on the team. Again, things didn't start out well, but the talent is still there. João Klaus, 30 games played, 9 goals scored, Brazilian. Marcel Hartel, formerly of St. Pauli, 7 goals scored so far this year. And then Edouard Lovin, 5 goals. Cedric Toucher, 3 goals. Simon Beckler, 2 goals. And then there's a bunch down the line, about 15 players that have got goals so far this year. Now, in terms of assists, I'd say Conrad Wallem is their main guy with 5 assists so far. Hartle after that with 4. Lowen with 3. Klaus with 2. Becker with 2. And then Thomas Ostrach also has 2. Kind of goes down the line as well. And I think 18 guys have so far tallied assists. So spread about, a lot of lineup changes. That's why. Some injuries too. It's a year gone sideways for St. Louis. Yes, they're looking the part now, but yeah, it's been kind of rough. That's for sure. Now, again, mentioning that 3-1 victory and seeing how the boys line up now, 4-2-3-1 seems to be the most popular approach. Again, counter it back again, use the wings, bring it back into the middle, catch you on some transition play. Kind of can play it both ways. That's for sure. I know last match they had Berkey back in goal. Yep, from Dortmund. Y'all remember him. Yeah, he's still doing his thing. Baumgartel and Aber are their center backs. Paddleford and Wallem are your outside backs. Durkin and Lovin are your defensive midfielders, with Hartel playing in the middle as the number 10. McSorley Pompo featured in the last match. Of course, Klaus was up top as the lone striker. I think Morales got some play, Anfi got some play, and Becker came in later. McSorley got a pair in that game. I know, Bam, you got a good look at this match. Who concerns you the most in that lineup?
For me, it's assists of Hartel and McSorley. McSorley was playing a brilliant game. His goals were nice. For me, it's those two, Hartel and McSorley. Those two are going to be very, very good.
Yeah, which is a challenge because that'll basically be stress for either Hollingshead or Smolikov coming from around their side. And yeah, they will come around on you. They will either turn you or bring the ball in. It's not easy. That's for sure. And we've seen Hartle in our stadium too, and what he can offer. He's a good quality player. That's for certain. I look at the match before, not a big difference. In this case, I think Songbin was in the game instead of McSorley. But otherwise, not a big change. I think Durkin and Lowen was the same. Kessler, I think, got minutes. They had different center backs for the last game. But system, same. 4-2-3-1 counter in most cases. Why would it be any difference? And of course, Montreal shut out that game. So that is where we're at. That is what we're dealing with. I think the bigger question is what we're going to bring to this match, how we're going to approach a team like this that can counter you well, can take you if you overcommit, especially from the outsides. They can burn you that way. And of course, Hartle is going to be that guy that can plug and play, control tempo, and be trouble. So I go to you, Bam. Your thoughts? I thought we know who's out for this match, right? I mean, just kind of a big loss for us, correct?
Yeah, Tillman's out because of suspension for this match, so that's going to be one thing we're going to have to cover.
And then also, Bouanga's at risk of getting a suspension if he gets a yellow card as well, right?
Yes, if he cops a yellow card this game, he'll get a suspension as well, which, if you're looking at it, having him get a yellow card this game might not be the end of the world because he might be out for the next game for international duty. So, if anything, if he was to cup a yellow card, I think now might be the smart time to do it.
A free yellow for Bouanga. There you go. All right, so that brings it to that. Let's just go right up top. We know who's out there. Sonny, Bouanga. Who's complimenting them? Martinez featured well. Tillman's featured well up top with them. I'll go to you, Tony, first. Who's your 3 up top for this, or is it even going to be 3 up top? Uh-oh, can't hear him.
I would just keep the 3 up top and just it'd be Bouanga, Son, and Martinez. It seems to be working for that. Hopefully Martinez, you can tell he's getting. There are some moments in the other game which you can see he's like getting lost in the situation, and hopefully this game can kind of pump him up and get him into the right moments.
Agreed. I like that as well. Bam, any thoughts, any changes to you for who the top 3 should be?
No, it's got to be those 3 with Tillman being off for yellow cards. There might be a whole bringing in Bobasi, but I think keeping Bobasi to come on late is a smart thing. Keep Martinez up there with Son and Bouanga.
Been fun so far. All right, so that also, of course, changes it to the midfield situation. Now, if we're going to play like that 3-4-3 we kind of did, or changes to a 5-2-3, it gets funky, I know. What is your midfield going to look like, Bam?
I'm going to keep Smolikov. I think he's deserved to keep the starting role. Okay. It will be Plenty on the other side. In replace of Tillman, I'm going to start Chonier and number 8.
I like that. I'm with you on that one. Your thoughts, Tony? Same, different?
I agree with Bam on this one. It's like you kind of we're on a roll. It's like why fix with something that's broken?
Exactly. And again, Chouanier, I really do like what he gives to this team. So he's a good fit for sure. Backline, of course, if you're talking about Smolikov and Palencia going high and being that wing back via, that means you got 3 center backs hanging out back there. If that is the case, same from last match, guys. Are we doing the same exact thing? Tony, you first. Oh, the head's not. So that would be Porteous, Tafari, and Segura if they're all healthy, correct?
Mm-hmm.
There it is. There's the standard. So there you go, guys. That's our thoughts. I do see a couple comments from the faithful as well. Let's see where you guys are at on this. And of course, we know how we approach this game. It ain't going to change. Transition will kill you on it. That's the game. Let's see. Comments from the crew. Let's see. We've got Dave says, what's the lineup looking like for us when I'm up at 2:30 early Sunday morning? So we got you your lineup, sir. A lot of the same. David Day says, win, lose, or draw. I got a feeling that these playoffs will fly by. 2026 is looming large. I'm imagining Sun versus Messi in February to kick off MLS season. LAFC versus Galaxy 2026 will be bigger than ever. And of course, he's mentioning the World Cup, which the pre-sale draw, I mean, the deadline already passed. Now they're coming off with right to buy stuff. It's getting weird with the World Cup right now. Mascots are out too. Go enjoy that. That's for sure. Dave Gomez also says, David, that match, Sun versus Leo will be epic. Yeah, that'll be fun. And then David Day also says, all I can see is LAC versus Miami at SoFi Stadium, 75,000 attendance, worldwide media coverage. You never know, man. Again, the stadium things, you know how we are about that. So we will see down the line. I wouldn't be surprised, though. That would be a pretty fun day if that does happen. Parking will stink, but it'll still be a fun day. So there we go from David. Thank you guys for the comments. Y'all rock as you always do. Again, if you are listening to this show, if you're watching us on YouTube, definitely like and subscribe is always something we want you to do. But also leave a comment. Get into the mix. We love what you guys have to say. Ask the hard stuff. Show your passion. Do not hold back. It is enjoyed by all. That is for sure. And that is it for our match preview, guys. You know what that leads us to, of course, our final thoughts. Yes, ma'am. before we
Before we
get to
go
that?
on there, our game against St. Louis is a big game for them.
Yeah.
If St. Louis loses or draws, so if we win or we draw with them, St. Louis are eliminated from playoffs.
They have that like 1% chance of getting in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's also 5 other results that they need to go their way to not be eliminated this weekend. So, and all those other games seem to me as one of them kicks off the same time as us, and the rest of them are after our game.
The last chance hotel for them. There you go. Yeah, no, it's tough for them. At least they'll finish higher than Carson. That's a thing. That's good. Hopefully. Looks like it will be. But yeah. Again, they'll bounce back next year, guys. I doubt that. And of course, they will be dangerous for the remainder. They are playing spoiler. They know they're playing spoiler, and they have the talent to be said spoiler. So, yes. All right, ma'am. Now we'll shift it over. Final thoughts of the day, sir.
Final thoughts of the day. For those going to watch parties, do everything you can. Be safe. Drink responsibly. Go hang out with people. If you can't make it to any other watch parties that you normally go to whichever one's closest to you. Go meet new people. Go have fun. Go enjoy yourselves. If you do have a chance, 24 hours from now, we'll be almost finishing off the AFL Grand Final. So, highly recommend watching that if you can. Snoop Dogg's performing the pre-game entertainment. So, an LA legend. Go watch some of that. And again, as I say, week after week, day after day, mental health matters. Reach out, talk to someone. There are places there for you to go and talk to people, or if you can't get and meet them, dial 800-854-7771 or call, text, and chat 988. The resources are there for you to use. Please use them.
Well said, sir. Again, look out. That's for sure. Look out for others. Critical. Community is critical. I'll go to you, Tony. Your final thoughts, my friend.
Final thought is just be responsible. Like, again, it is just piggyback on what Bam says, just like have conversation with people, make sure you care about them, know that you're in their lives, and that's all that matters sometimes. But let's have some fun this weekend. It's gonna be a very eventful weekend in general, not just for American football, but Serie A football for myself. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say.
There we go. Thank you, Tony. And again, your work in the North End is beyond appreciated, dude. It was awesome again this week. So good on you, man. And like they said, again, staying golden is a lot about just protecting your community, looking out for your community, looking out for friends, looking out for family, valuing life. Essential. So yes, look out for each other this weekend. If you're heading out to the viewing parties, be safe, be smart, get back home safe after the fact, and have a great time out there. That's for sure. And for those traveling, because there are some travelers on this trip, be safe, be ambassadors of the club, of course. You have a great time, that's for sure. St. Louis, there's things to do, that's for sure. So be safe, have a good time, get noisy out there, support the boys to the fullest, and let's hopefully get some 3 points, man. That's essential. And that's the final word of the day. Bam.
Stay golden.
Tony.
Stay golden, Los Angeles.
And from me to all of you, stay golden, Los Angeles.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.